they are now buying more than they were buying previously. Have you reduced is it the price that you have reduced, or what incentive have you given them for people to start buying plots like that, and then you recover the money?
Chair, the amounts that have been given are the same, but there's a trend, is an improvement in how people are on the uptake of plots. Okay. There's generally an improvement, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Yes, the second question on on CDF.
On CDF.
Why was that
page 12, Chair?
Page 12.
Page 12, yes. Chair, these are, maybe I'll just start by saying, these amounts are attached to the projects, each project. So in terms of utilizing that money, our focus is to complete each project. And each project was allocated an amount of money. And like we indicated, I think most of the projects are either 90% and above, and we're hoping that that money would be all of it utilized latest March, Chair, this year. So all these pending projects, Chair, will finish before the end of by end of March. So this amount, the 2 million, it's not like it's there now because we've done some works from that time to now, and we are hoping that by the end of March this year, all the projects that are pending will be complete.
Yes, the query was on 1,083,000.
Yes, sir.
So are you telling this committee that that money actually was spent?
Chair, it's not the entire amount, just because of the outstanding works that are remaining on the projects, the works which we are going to complete between now and the end of March.
No, sir. What I'm saying is, in your wording here, you said an amount totaling to 1,083,565 was brought forward. And again, in your submission, oral submission, now you are saying it's not that this money was there, this money was in projects. So what I'm saying, if it was in projects, was this money spent? Because if it's attached to a project, you say this money is spent already. So how do you bring it forward if it's spent? I don't know if I've made myself very clear.
Maybe, Chair, I didn't understand the question properly. I could be assisted
maybe,
to...
Yeah. Honorable Simumba.
Thank you very much. There is a query, there is an amount of 1,083,000 that was brought forward from 2020. It means this amount was not spent on projects. Yes. So the question is, why didn't you spend this 1,083,000 to the project that was approved in that particular year?
Okay, Chair, maybe I could explain it like this. The 1,083,000 was attached to projects for 2020. At the time of the audit, the projects were also incomplete. So it already had the commitment in terms of approved projects. So in 2021, there was an addition of other projects, and I think that's how the total now comes to, is it 1.6 plus the 1,883,000. So I think what the auditors did was to put the two amounts together without exactly stating which amount was attached to which project. So the money was found in the account, but it was already committed
you don't accuse you don't accuse the auditors. They are here. You are working together.
Yes,
you and the auditors were working together. So you would have told them to say, no, this figure is not supposed to be like this. And you read this. You read this report after your engagement with the auditors. So you had one figure in mind. You had one figure in mind. If you read further, your honorable members, I'll give you that chance. If you read further, down there, bring the total amount available to 2,068,683,000. Then going down, amount as at December 31st, December 2021, an amount totaling 498,664 had been spent, leaving the balance. So this money has not been used. This money totaling together with that 1,183,000 is not spent according to your wording. You only spent as at 31st December 2021. You only spent 499,000. 498, leaving the balance, the money that is there, that has no project, that is not spent. That's what it means. Anyway, honorable members.
Yes, I think, CS, are you aware that failure to use money that is even already allocated to projects, that's negligence of duty, and you're supposed to be charged? That's why the auditor queried. If you say this money is allocated for you to buy a computer and you don't buy the whole year, audit has come, you have not bought, you have not done your work. That's negligence of duty. You were supposed to be charged, you are supposed to spend that money. So if money was allocated to the projects, why hasn't it been used? That's your job, to make sure that when that money is allocated, you make follow-ups to make sure that that money is used so that those projects can go up. So therefore, if it has not been used, it means you're not doing your job properly. This is why the auditor is querying. Failure to spend money that has been allocated is negligence of duty, and under normal circumstances you're supposed to be charged. And this is why the auditor is querying. They only query where there is a problem. And that problem is you failed to utilize that money. Then you are given, and this is what I'm trying to say now. Now you have 25 million. You don't have the capacity. Just very little money, 1 million. The whole lot of the council failed to push that money is utilized. Again, you are given another money, you fail to push. Surely, when the audit comes, the report for 25, I'm here to see what's going to happen. And that's why I asked you to say, what changes have you made to make sure that there's efficiency and prudence in utility of money? So you failed to use the money, and that is why the auditor queried.
Thank you so much. Yes, make a clarification on those conflicting figures.
Chair, the question was whether the project, whether the money was used or not.
Yes.
The explanation, Chair, is that much of the money has been spent. The only outstanding amount are the ones tied to the remainder of the works, which most of them are really less than 10%. And we hope that, we are sure, not even hope, that by the end of March, all the pending projects will be complete, and our hope is that that money will be exhausted, Chair.
Secretary, me, I'm seated here. The committee is in Osaka here. Yes. And they don't know what is happening in Chadiza. The only roadmap, the only information you have is what you have given us, sir. And when you are saying this money, according to you, 2,683,565 was available. Then out of that, sir, you have spent 498, leaving the balance of the available funds to 2 million, sir. 2,184,000. That is what is available. That's what you have given us. To us, this money, we can even start now advertising for more projects, because this money is available. To us, according to your wording, are we together? Yes, sir. Honorable members, maybe I don't understand.
I think maybe, Chair, to assist our CS here. Yes. You received 1,600,000 in 2020. Okay? And according to you, in 2020, the CDF that you received, you didn't utilize 1,083,000. Am I correct?
Yes, you are.
Are we together? That is for 2020. So maybe before we come to the other 2021 CDF amount of 1.6, why didn't you utilize the 1,083,000, which, according to you, it was even brought forward to 2021?
And it's
maybe from there.
Chair, the CDF for 2020 was 1.6.
Yes.
Like guided by the member.
Yes.
And part of it was spent on works. Yes. However, not exhausted.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that that money wasn't committed to projects. Okay. So in 2020, there was a project list approved by the Minister of Local Government, and implementation started. But when the auditors did this query, they went into the account and they found a 1,083,000 unspent. Maybe they should have mentioned in that query that it was allocated to so much works. However, the commitment was already made towards that money. So that money was treated as a carryover, not because it didn't have project commitments. The project commitments were already there, because when the minister is approving, he approves all the projects for the year. And then when you are implementing, at the close of the year, there might be money that are not spent. That doesn't necessarily mean that the money is not committed to projects.
Okay,
Thank you so very much. CS, don't bring the Auditor General. For commitment, it's the local authority. It's you who should tell them to say, even if this money is not spent,
yes,
it is committed to
this project,
these works. They would have highlighted this unspent money is already committed to such and such a project. They wouldn't know. They do engage you. Chair, what I'm picking is this money is committed. This money has running projects. According to you, the projects which are due to complete in March.
Yeah, please.
Is that correct? Yes. So
Chair,
why
yes,
are you
that is the
failing
position.
to tell your committee in that manner? But maybe the question will now be, since 2020, and this is 2023, is the pricing still the same?
No. Okay.
And by so doing, this is 1,600,000 plus another 1,600,000, 3,200,000. How are you handling the 25 million? How are you going to handle the 28?
All right. Honorable Kambon.
Yes, I think CS, you didn't get my explanation. Yeah, CDF comes annually. So if the money is committed and it will take 10 years, they are not using it, who is supposed to push? Who is supposed to push that those who are, the money where it is committed to is utilized? Who? What is your job? So for you, once projects are approved, you allocate the money, even if there's nothing going on, that is fine. No. Your job is to push that within the stipulated period, the money is utilized and finished. So if you allocated, if there was anything like that, and there was no money, then maybe you would say, no, I didn't receive the money. But now we allocate projects to the money that is what? Available. So the money is there, and then those you have given projects to do, whoever they are, you are not following up. Maybe your procurement department is not buying on time. They keep on coming, or whatever it is. So the responsibility still stops on you to make sure that that money is utilized in time. We are talking of 1 point whatever million now. There is 25 this year. This money is annual. That's the way it moves in. So you have not, the blame comes to you. You're not doing your work, and you don't even seem to know your work. You are supposed to push and make sure that that money is spent. That's why I said, if money is not spent, you are supposed to be charged. That's negligence of duty. If it is my company and I employed you, and we are failing to utilize the money, I would charge you and possibly fire you because you are failing to use the money, which is your job to make sure that the money is utilized.
Thank you. Okay, Honorable, now I'll give you a chance. Honorable Kolara.
Chair, maybe you can answer, because I would love to request that my questions would need immediate answer in order for me, because they are more like a sequence. There's something I need to establish.
Okay. Thank you. Treasurer, I wanted to say something. Yes, would you allow your treasurer? Okay, it's okay. Go ahead.
Chair, maybe I just want to make comments to the issues raised, which are serious issues. First of all, Chair, we do take responsibility for the delays, and there's no two ways about that. There were delays in the project, there were lapses in terms of project management, that is well acknowledged, and we pledge to make improvements. And I also understand the implications for failure to perform very well, Chair. That the buck stops at the head of the institution, who is myself. Chair, noting that we've taken responsibility, we can only ask that we are given a chance, and definitely improvements will be seen. Like you've noticed, I think our deadline to complete all the pending projects, there's been a consistency in terms of timing, that by end of March we should be able to close out all the projects and focus on the rest of the other new projects for 2022 and 2023. So we just want to share that we will not disappoint you. We acknowledge the mistakes in the past. There were lapses. However, we will make improvements on the projects
we appreciate
that are still pending.
We appreciate that, CS.
Yes,
and
Chair.
we also take into consideration that you're relatively new there, 2-3 months, and these things were happening, and like the members, I think the previous member who spoke was insisting that we put in place systems that will get you going. And one thing that we are getting is that you have put a timeline that projects by the end of March, those projects should be completed, and like say, no, we are going to work on them. But put in systems, I think that's the insistence that is coming from the committee, because we have seen these lapses. Honorable Korada.
Thank you, Chair. I think the good thing is that the CS has recognized his responsibility.
Yeah.
And he's mentioned that he's the chief executive. That is very important. That's the first step. You are a government. You are not the central government, but you are a government in that local area. Everyone is looking up to you. Now, I know you've answered the question the way you've been given the question. I want to request from you to ask the Director Works just about 4 questions, if it's okay.
Chair, well, it should be okay for...
Director Works, you've been in Chadiza.
So the questions are referred to you, Council Secretary, and then you request your director to respond.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair.
I'm looking about these projects. There are about 6 of them that are here. All of them, the issue is failure to manage these projects. There are those which were given to contractors, and the excuse, or let me say the response, is that the contractor or the contractors failed to complete the projects in time, regardless of them being paid. Now, when you go further, the 2 at the end were labor-based. We are told it was because the community did not fulfill their responsibility in time. So all of them, it was the other party that failed, and not the council. Who is responsible to manage these projects to make sure that they are finished within the time frame? And now the second question is, the cost of these projects now are higher than the way it was supposed to be in 2020. Is it possible you can give us the difference in variation? Thirdly, what comment do you give for allowing the situation to get to this level where public money will be spent on the project that should have used lesser money than it will take now? Thank you, Chair.
Chair, just in addition to what you had said, also when you are giving these labor-based projects, don't you make sure that the upfront materials are there? Because you can't just give a project where you don't even know where it will be put. The community has not yet done upfront materials. What do you look at before you give the project? Thank you.
Thank you. CS, through your director, can you proceed?
Chair, since there was a request that the director answers, he can give responses.
Chair, I'll start with the issue of upfront materials. Upfront materials, when we're doing appraisals, they're usually there, but most of the upfront materials are not usually enough. The community will just say they'll provide more once the project starts. Then the other issue is on managing of the projects. We have enhanced non-performance of those contracts that will be failing to perform, will be terminating. We'll be terminating them, then we've taken up measures where non-performing contractors will be terminated.
The Chair, the first question was, who is responsible to make sure the contractor finishes within time?
Right.
That was the first question.
Yes, switch off. Okay, go ahead, director.
Chair, the person who's responsible for the projects to finish is the director of works, of which we are the ones spearheading the projects. We are making sure everything is on course and the project is moving smoothly. And then the failures of the non-performing contractors, we have taken measures of where we'll be terminating them. Thank you, Chair.
Okay. The other question was what? The last one? He was talking about the costs.
Yes. Yes, Chair.
The costs have gone up.
Projects, CDF projects like the 1x3 classroom, we've moved away from labor-based. Now we'll be doing full contracts. Like a 1x3 classroom, it will depend with the area, because most of them are coming with a full component of electricity, solar, those kind of things. So for Chadiza, a 1x3 classroom, we'll be putting them at 900.
No,
that's the estimate.
No, that's not what...
Chair, maybe, let me come again. The second question was, the cost of doing that project in 2020 is different from the cost of doing that project now. Is it possible you can give us the difference in variation? How much it was and how much it is now? That was the second one.
Yes, please. Go ahead, Director of Works.
Chair, in 2020, projects were doing them at 350. So looking at now, the prices of commodities have gone up.
Yes.
So projects have gone on a higher side now doing these projects. So most of the projects that we're doing are above 350.
No, the question was, sir, that cost, maybe it was 10,000 at that time, now it's at 8,000. I think that was the question. What happens? at the end of the day, or who bears that cost? Is it the contractor that delayed, or is it the failure from you as the supervisor for that price to escalate to that?
Chair, before that, I want him to mention the difference. He said it was 300 then. Today is saying it's 900. We just want him to mention how much the difference is now. Then that's when you come to the third question, which you've amplified. The difference now.
Do you have the estimates of the difference on the same project, the variation?
Chair.
If you don't have it, you say you don't have it.
No, I don't have it.
Yes, we don't.
I don't have it, Chair.
Yes.
I don't have it.
But the only thing that you can agree with the Honorable is that, yes, the price has gone up from where it was, yes, but you don't have the difference,
no,
isn't
the difference
it?
I don't have, Chair.
Okay. We want to wind up.
Chair,
yeah,
as we are winding up,
yes,
Chair, I think the question really intended to make us be responsible. See how much the difference, I know I can approximate, it should be somewhere around 600,000 difference, or 500 plus difference. If that school was done in 2020, it would have saved money on the government coffers. But now it will be done this time. Instead, at that time, the amount of money we are talking about would have built 2 schools. Now it will just do 1 school. And this is because we don't take responsibility. We do it because, oh no, the money comes, we'll do what we are going to do. But let us take responsibility. This is our money. This is the money of all Zambians. The same way we can use our money, the same way we are disciplined with our monies, let us be disciplined with the government money, so that we don't incur unnecessary costs. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Please, I would love members, each yes, one to just say yes, under 2 minutes, so that we manage our time.
Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
I think, Chair, I would want to understand something from the CS, so that maybe can what has caused the delay when the money is available, so that from there maybe we can help each other. The money is available and there is a delay. Why? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Kamboni, Honorable Mutero.
Yeah, you see, Director, for me, for this delay is actually your inefficiency, which later on I take to the CS. You were there. So even when I asked you to say, do they bring in the upfront material, they bring, see, it is your responsibility, because sometimes you would find the procurement department is sleeping. The people are coming every now and then, they come, want materials you have not bought, even when it's labor-based. We are looking for this, you have not done anything. Time is moving, it's going. You're not doing anything as a council. Somebody worked, you want to be paid, did something, just for labor, little money. You keep on telling them, come tomorrow, come tomorrow. And then they go and sit. And you are also sitting. That's your responsibility. And your judgment of how your competence will be judged on how you get these things done. That's why you are there. If they are not done, you have failed. Huh? Little money, you failed to have it utilized. At least if you are telling us that materials were bought, money was spent, but they are failing to roof, or they are failing to use the cement, it expired, but you didn't even do that. So if the upfront materials are, so you have a responsibility to do. You have a job you are paid for, and that job you are paid for is to have this work done. So you're not doing well. You're not. And you don't seem to know your responsibility. So once you have done that, you say, so it's not my responsibility. No, it is your responsibility. Okay. If you are running your own house, you send money to your home, and food is not being bought, your children are starving. Whose responsibility is it? Are you going to blame the maid? As you provide the money, you must make sure that it's utilized and the main objective is done, children at home are able to feed. So you need to change. You need to change your approach to work, and time factor must be considered as you work. Get all the departments there that you are linked to you. Work effectively.
Thank you. Honorable Mteo.
Thank you, Chair. On page 8, to be helped with mathematics. Equalization Fund. The total received 8,271,966. You allocate 20%, 1,654,393. 80% as put in our books, 6917573. When I'm doing my own totals, it's giving me a different total together. Those are the numbers you gave to the Auditor General. From my point, there is a whooping 300,000. Where has it gone? Or maybe it's me who has failed to do the mathematics. Please go through and help the committee, then explain, elaborate. You gave those figures to the Auditor General, and the Auditor General has captured the same figures. So where is this 300,000, Kwacha? You do the mathematics. Maybe I could be wrong as well, but we can do them together, isn't it? If I'm wrong, I'm seeking for clarification.
Okay, Council Secretary, maybe we can tackle the first question. What is the Treasurer is working on those figures, please?
Thank you, Chair. So the question was, what is the cause of the delay in implementing the project when the money is there? I'm being tempted to make a general comment, Chair, because of the limited time that I've been at that council. So I may not exactly know, but from experience, I can just explain what really causes the problems. Yes, Chair, if I'm permitted.
Please.
Sure, Chair. Chair, in the management of projects, usually the bottlenecks, of course, over and above, like I mentioned, the efficiency of us, your staff, who are managing the projects, plays a bigger role in terms of managing the project sequence, maybe from identification up to when the project is executed. So in between that, there is a human element, which is the person managing the project.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just thought to make that comment first of all. So there are processes, there are many, yes, they are long, but the overarching facilitator is us, your officers who you've employed to manage those processes. So there might be design delays, for example, between the time that a project is proposed by the community, because you start with applications by communities, then there are sittings at ward level, then the council level at maybe CDF level. Then there is also submission to the ministry, and then there is that back and forth. And in respect with the projects that are being mentioned, Chair, you would notice that there was also a decision to cancel. So first, 6 projects are approved, but later on, the CDF committee realizes towards the end of the year that they needed to cancel 3 projects. And when you are cancelling, Chair, the process is exactly the same. You go to consult the communities, the projects are submitted, and then the variation is made, and then the Honorable Minister also approves the final projects. So that also takes time, Chair, because of the communication between maybe the sub-district structures, the district structures, and the national structures.
Yes, just to help you on that.
Yes, Chair.
All these members, they have constituencies.
Oh, sure,
and
Chair.
we're all running projects. So when we say the project has been delayed, we know what we are talking about, and we know those processes. So we know that the delayments. Yes, we know all the sequences. We know all the procedure. The stages that a project should go through. So I think like the Director of Works was responding, is that we need to up our game. That's all. Because other than that, there is nothing new that you're going to give the committee, because they have their committees in their respective constituencies. So we just need to up our game. If it was the community that was delaying, we need to know how we can engage the community. If it was our part, because I know I'm also representing a council, labor-based projects, this is the reason as to why we are discouraging them as a committee. We do not want them. We want full contracts. Labor-based, you people, you want to go and buy from that shop, that person, his container is still at Da, his container is still in Nakonde, you start dilly-dallying, because you can't buy from that one, you have to buy from that particular person. So you always delay in procuring materials. That is a common cancer everywhere you go with these local authorities and the ones that you have interacted with, and you are still interacting with them. So labor-based always is a cancer in the council, because they feel they can only buy to a certain shop, from a certain shop. So those are also, they add to the delayments that are being experienced in implementing projects. So I think, sorry to come in to cut you short, we just need to up our game in terms of implementing the projects that have been given to us, approved, and the monies are there. We don't need to carry forward the money forward. We need to use the money.
Correct, Chair. That is noted. We'll make improvements, sir.
Yes, honorable members. The last one, can we have the
Treasurer, maybe you can
the calculations.
work out the numbers.
Treasurer, please clarify on the figures.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to appreciate the observation by the Honorable. In fact, mathematically, that is correct. There is a difference about 300. I think it was just a typo error.
Chair.
Yes, please.
Now we have typo errors that have not been verified. So should we believe in any other figures which you've been giving us? Maybe there are others which have similar typo errors. The others are okay. So what is the correct situation? What should this committee write? What is due for 20% and what is due for 80%? Treasurer, as you are rectify the typo error, that which you gave to the Auditor General, so that even the Auditor General will have the right figures. Because what the nation has is what you've presented. And in your own, you've not clarified. You are now telling us it's a typo.
After he does that, he should also tell us where the difference, because definitely there will be that difference of 300. Now, if he corrects the figure to 66, now where is that 300, the difference going to be fixed?
Yes, Treasurer.
Chair, the correct amount was 8.2 million, of which the 80%, which is the current, is 606 million. Sorry.
It's what?
$6,617,572.8 Engwe. This is the correct figure, which was supposed to be the 80%. So now the amount which is there is
did you
the
have
amount which is there, which
Treasurer,
is here, is 6.9.
did you have time to go through this before bringing it here?
Yes, I went.
Internal auditor, were you there when the Auditor General was there?
Chair.
Through you, Chair. Internal auditor, were you there? Treasury, were you there when you were giving these figures to the Auditor General? And furthermore, when you were given time enough to go through, and you gave your committee this, where were you?
General Auditor.
Thank you, Chair. At the time of audit, at the time when the external auditors came to the Chadiza Council, at that time I was at school. I wasn't around. I would say that I wasn't around. When I came back, I found that the external auditors have already gone. So.
Okay, that is okay. But did you go through the report? Because when auditors come, you are in that same department.
Yes,
so
I did go through. I did go through the report, but I couldn't notice this difference. The 300 exactly.
After having come from school, through you, Chair, to be noticed by me who has not gone to the same school.
Okay. So, thank you, Honorable Member. I think you need to give the correct figures to Secretariat, because we need to we are generating a report out of this. I think for now, Honorable Members who
So where are they going to place the 300 difference? I wanted to know, because it's very important that since he's going to give us the correct figure, which would be 6.617, and the difference would be a 300, where is he going to place that 300?
Thank you so much, Honorable Simumba. In the interest of time, there is something that they said they would produce within 30 minutes. Is it the note or what? So we need that correct information to be given to Secretariat before you go back to Chadiza. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's noted, Chair.
Yes, and CS, we appreciate your submission, but like you have heard, you have spent almost 2 hours, meaning there is something wrong with your report, and you need to improve. We are having locked tours. When we are touring, we do not want to come and find and complete a fire station and all those projects, because once we appear like this, we take notes and we can pass through your station. We want to find things, happening that side. Our people are looking forward now with the availability of a lot of money that the government is releasing. Our people are looking forward to perfect service delivery, and it's anchored on you as the local authority. For now, we want to appreciate you, and we want to withdraw the immunity that was conferred on you at the beginning of this meeting and allow you to travel back to Chadiza as you came. I thank you. You are free to
Thank you, Chair.
take leave.